What's up, my friend? Welcome back to another video, and today we're taking a look at a brand new sample library from a developer named David Forner. So this one is really exciting. I just found it on VI Control, and as I mentioned in a lot of my videos, a lot of the libraries I do find are from VI Control, so definitely check it out if you haven't already. VI Control is a wonderful place, hosted by Mike Green, which is the developer Realitone, and a big shout out for him. But anyway, so yeah, here you can see what it's all about. There's basically a bunch of workhorse articulations plus a few others, but there's like 3 different legatos, and there are 2 legato types per legato articulation. So then there's like the regular legato, but then there's also a faster legato if you're playing a little faster, and I believe the velocity might play a role in there as well. And they also have a rebowing engine. So if you replay the note that you're playing, then the rebow will kick in automatically and you don't have to press the sustain pedal. And then there's some round robins as well. And yeah, then you can learn more about it right there. And then some random dude just commented as well. So then if you take a look at the sales page, they tell you all the details. It's currently 50% off for the intro price. And then it's basically a follow-up to the Barbarian Cello, which was released earlier. And yeah, that's really cool. So let's take a look at it. Basically, let's go into the DAW here. You can see there are the 3 legato types. And actually, if I go down in my octave range, you can see these are the key switches for all these different articulations. And yeah, I think first impressions, the only thing I might change, like for me, seeing all the different articulations here is a little bit overwhelming personally. To simplify this GUI, I might even have the articulations in 2 different pages. So I might have the legatos and then basically the regular sustains, and then maybe the shorts on a standard articulations page, and then maybe the other articulations I would put on a second page, like a second tab that I can click to activate the other ones. Just a personal preference there. And then for the legatos, David mentions putting it at minus 75 milliseconds for the best results. For the other articulations, you can keep it down at 0, but minus 75 seems to get the best results for slow, medium style playing. So let's hear these legato types. We'll start with lyrical, then we'll go to medium, and then soft. So these are 3 different performing approaches. Here's the lyrical. All right, so you can hear those 3 different performance approaches. The lyrical is definitely the most passionate, and I believe they're playing at more of a mezzo forte, even forte sort of dynamic. The medium seems more of a mezzo piano to mezzo forte range, and the soft is definitely more MP to piano. So yeah, 3 different performances, and I like that each one has one dynamic layer to maintain as much clarity and detail as possible without crossfading between different dynamic layers to create phasing. So I'm personally a big fan of that approach. And then the fact that they provide 3 performing styles means that we have 3 different dynamics we can choose from without having to risk that phasing between different dynamic layers in one single articulation. So that's always a nice touch. For me, that these 3 legato styles were the biggest draw for this library for my personal work. Then let's go into the sustain. So we'll hear with vibrato and then without vibrato. And I'll also go over, I'll activate the rebos here as well. Right, so those are the sustains with and without vibrato, and with the rebos, you can hear them pretty pronounced, right? And to me, they sound pretty decent. There's a very, very slight like artifact just before the rebo happens, but it's quite minimal. I think in the context of a fuller mix, actually through the walkthrough video, you can kind of hear what it sounds like in context with those rebos. They sound really, really nice. So with it exposed, you can hear a little bit of that artifact, but the rebo still sounds quite convincing to my ears. And then also these longer sustains or these longer articulations have multiple dynamic layers as well. I think it's up to like 3 to 5 or something like that. So you do have that choice there. But for legato, you only have 1. Okay, here's a little flautando. All right, so these are all the longer articulations just before we hit the Marcato. Really, really nice, especially with the reboing feature. You can get some really interesting re-articulated notes there that sound quite natural, I think. The overall sound, in my opinion, is a little bit on the brighter side, especially with these articulations that are a bit more nasal or a bit more airy in nature, right? The overpressured stuff, the harmonics, you really get those higher frequencies there. So if you want a slightly darker sound, you can EQ out some of the high end, or you can bring in some warmth in another manner, some saturation, whatever you want to do. But just so you know, the sound signature here is more detailed, it's more upfront, really, really nice for soloistic features. Okay, let's hear the Marcato here. So basically there's 1 long and I believe there's 2 shorter. Or no, that's for the swells. But yeah, here's a longer Marcato, and then the shorter Marcato is more of a half note sort of length. So here's the longer one. Okay, and then let's hear these swells. So this is a longer swell, and then there's 2 shorter swells. And you can also do the rebows here as well. And I believe it's programmed in a way where the rebow does not really influence the length of the swell too much. So for example, if I play the notes for the swell and then I do the rebow halfway through, the notes will still continue on as if the swell didn't happen, or sorry, the rebow didn't happen as much in the first place. So it's like I play the note, let's say it's 5 seconds long, and then I do the rebow, it rebows, but it still tails off for the second half of the swell without adding too much to the length of it. Probably sounds a little weird, but here, let me just try it. So here's the swell by itself. And then if we add the rebow in there, right, you can hear how the rebow basically played during the louder part of that swell, but then after that it continued to descend. It took, decrescendo back down to basically nothing. So that's a really cool feature. It's like you have that swell, but then when you do the rebow, it allows that swell to continue on for that same length, or pretty close to it at least. All right, then we have the shorts. So we have spiccato, staccatissimo, regular staccato, and pizzicato. So let's hear each of these. Right, so really, really short there. All the short articulations pretty much have a very snappy approach to them. Even the staccato, which is relatively long compared to the other ones, it still has that intentional performance to it. And yeah, it's really, really lively. So beautiful library overall. Very simple. Again, I would probably sort the articulations into 2 pages, one with the more standard ones, and then, the other ones like harmonics, saltasto, fontando, overpressured, the ones, I'd probably put in a second page just for ease of use in terms of the visual aspect of it. But that's just a personal thing here. And of course, you can influence the reverb, filters, the stereo width, all very cool stuff. But yeah, for me, again, the main draw are the legato styles, and most likely I'll probably be using the lyrical version for a lot of more emotional passages, which are a little louder and dynamic. But for the softer ones, it's nice to have that softer piano, even like MP sort of style there as well. So yeah, hopefully that gives you a little bit of an overview of the library. Let's quickly get into the giveaway. Big thanks again to David for sharing a copy. So all you need to do is 3 things as usual. Number 1 is fill out the form below in the description box. Just enter your details there, and then you'll be entered into the system, and I'll reach out in a couple days by email to let you know who the winner is. Number 2 is to leave a comment under this video, letting me know what you would use this library for and why you would like to win it. I always like to hear. And number 3 is simply to leave a like on the video. It's always appreciated and it greatly helps. And by the way, if the giveaway has already passed at the time of recording this, you can get a small discount, by the way, if you purchase the library below in the description. I'll also leave a link down in the comments. But if you grab that there, then you'll support me in a small way as well. It is an affiliate link, so I'll get a very small commission as a part of your purchase, but you'll also get a small discount as well just by using the code, and I'll leave that down in the description and in the comments as well if you want to grab that there as well. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.